Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. We're talking Noble Knights in this video. We now know of another Noble Knight card that's going to be released in the Noble Knight box set. This is going to be coming out in about 2 weeks right now. I know that I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but I know it's the latter part of November. This card is Noble Knight Bedwyr. It is a level 4 light warrior monster, 1600 attack, 1500 defense. The effect says when this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Noble Arms equipped spell from your deck to the graveyard. During either player's turn, you can target one Noble Arms equipped spell and one appropriate monster on the field. Equip that equipped spell to the appropriate monster. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. And, you know, before I do my first impressions or kind of like semi-reviews of a monster or a card, you know, I kind of like to look at the community, go to, you know, various like forums and stuff like that and kind of see what people are saying about cards, kind of get a general consensus of what people feel. And I think that a lot of people are really down on this card, and I feel like it's getting an unjustified amount of hate. I'm not saying by you guys who are watching this video, but just by, you know, at least a good portion of the community. And I think that a lot of people were expecting the final pieces of the Noble Knight, you know, support to be like something just super broken that would save the archetype. And while that isn't what this card is, I think that what we have here is just a really solid, nice card. I mean, you look at this monster, the effect triggers when it's normal or special summoned. Okay, so the fact that it works when it's special means that it's going to work off of Merlin, which is going to be a pretty important piece to the deck, you know. And then you have another effect that works during either player's turn. That's always good. Like, I can't think of any monster that has a quick effect where you're like, man, that would be better if it totally wasn't a quick effect. Like, quick effects are always good, so I like it on that angle too. And then just being able to equip a Noble Arms equip spell to a Noble Knight, like, that's a simple +1. I mean, +1s are always good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I'm really not understanding what's not to like about this card. I mean, I think a lot of people are looking at it for what it isn't and not for what it is. I mean, it gets you any Noble Arms that you need. It doesn't give you one at random or anything. Like, it lets you get the specific one that you want, and that effect is always going to be relevant. Is it as good as Boar's? No, because you can only use Bedwyr's effect once. So obviously Boar's can just rack up advantage turn after turn after turn, and Boar's, you know, in theory he should get a little harder to kill each turn. This card doesn't do that, and it would obviously be nice if you could dump Queen. Like, Queen would just make this card really, really good. I think if you could dump Queen, then, you know, half of the people saying it's bad would probably just shut up, but it doesn't make the card bad. Like, when I look at this guy at face value, it kind of reminds me of Mathematician, but for Noble Knights. Like, you summon it, you trigger the effect, and then, you know, during your turn or during your opponent's turn, like, you get that equip card right back to your monster, and it's like, there's my +1. So yeah, I think the card is definitely good. If I was going to run Noble Knights, I'd probably consider this a definitive one of, but I think that more people are upset about Noble Knights in general and not necessarily the card. Like, I think that people are kind of misdirecting their anger towards Bedwyr when I don't really think that he's the problem. I think that a lot of people were expecting something like really broken because Noble Knights, they've been a slow process as an archetype, and a lot of people would probably consider underwhelming. And then they look across the street and they see Burning Abyss, they're released with 4 cards and they're automatically tier 1. So they're like looking at Konami like, what the fuck, you know? So overall, I think that Bedwyr is a very solid card. I mean, yeah, it could have had a little more potential, but if I was playing Noble Knights, I would definitely consider playing the card at, I mean, at least at a 1 of. You know, and I don't have a vested interest in Noble Knights at all. Like, if this new support would have made them tier 1, or if it would have all been garbage and they would have stayed like tier 3, like, it doesn't change, you know, anything to me. Like, I'm still gonna pretty much give you guys my 2 cents on the card, and you can take it for what it's worth. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think the card is solid? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, as always. Subscribing makes life happy.